Welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Thursday, October the 31st, 2024. Is that Halloween? Are we Halloween? Is it the Queer High Holy Day Halloween? I am Reverend Dr. Darrell Watkins, the senior minister here at Sunshine Cathedral. With me today is Sunshine Cathedral's executive minister. He's also my husband, the Reverend Dr. Robert Griffin, and Sunshine Cathedral's minister of connections, Reverend Dr. Ann Atwell. Visit sunshinecathedral.org to learn more about our progressive faith community and how you can be part of it, no matter where you live in the world. And if you live in South Florida, be sure to check out the Sunshine Cathedral Center for the Performing Arts, offering entertainment for the LGBTQ+ community to benefit the LGBTQ+ community. If you enjoyed the Queer God Squad broadcast, please share this or other episodes with your friends, family, and social media communities. At Sunshine Cathedral, we want you to know that you are God's miracle, not God's mistake.
This is the Sunshine Cathedral perspective. Tim Walz, former Gay-Straight Alliance students remember him as nice and goofy. Before he was a congressman, a governor, and a vice presidential candidate, Tim Walz was a public school teacher. He was the first faculty advisor for a rural Minnesota school's Gay-Straight Alliance. Some of his former students now remember him as goofy, apparently in an endearing way, and also as accepting of everyone. A former student who is now an LGBTQ activist and attorney told MSNBC, and I'm quoting, "Both Tim and Gwen, Mrs. Walz, also a former teacher, were incredibly supportive of their gay students, and they modeled values of inclusivity and respect," end quote. Another former student of Walz, who is now a teacher himself, said that he didn't expect to like Walz because he was a hunter and athletics coach, but he found Walz to be a safe person to come out to, and he felt supported by him. And I'm quoting again. "What I learned is that he really cared about everyone and wanted everyone to be seen," end quote. Still another student said that on a travel abroad school trip to China that Walz led, he said something to her that charted the course of her life for a decade, and I'm quoting her. "We were on a riverboat, and I turned to Mr. Walz and I said, 'I love this. I love China. I want to do this for the rest of my life.' And then he said, 'Here's what you're going to do. You're going to major in Chinese, and then you're going to go to China and get a job. And that is exactly what I did for the next 10 years of my life," end quote. There are plenty of opportunities to argue about policies and plans and partisan positions. But today, the Queer God Squad takes notice of a public official who seems to be a good person, a kind person, and a person who demonstrates love for their neighbor. And we thought that deserved a mention.
Schools are microcosms of society, and in many cases, it's your last opportunity to share that socioeconomically, racially, and across the board. I had students come to me who were concerned that there was an uptick in some bullying towards our gay and lesbian students. And this is in the mid-90s. They asked if I would be interested in helping start a Gay-Straight Alliance group. My answer was absolutely. And I recognized my responsibility in that. You have an older, white, straight, married male football coach who's deeply concerned that these students are treated fairly and that there's no bullying. And the idea that my players would be interested in coming to that and learn and to speak, to create a culture in a school that was welcoming, open, and understanding was something Gwen and I always strove for. Much the same way that as the senior enlisted soldier in Congress, when it came time to repeal Don't Ask, Don't Tell, my job was to go and convince a dozen or so Republicans that this was the right thing to do. We did that, and I'm very proud of those 15 who joined us. This is done. We have transgender troops serving honorably right now, decorated warriors, and they see their commander-in-chief belittle them. Brave Americans who wish to serve this nation should be allowed to do so, should be respected, and certainly should never expect to have an attack on their basic patriotisms or their basic humanity come from the White House. It's our pledge here to make sure that doesn't happen. I certainly didn't serve 24 years to watch a fellow veteran be belittled for doing their job, and I will stand in that breach every day. Lots of people are making promises about a progressive agenda. Peggy Flanagan and I are the only team for governor and lieutenant governor who can actually deliver on those progressive promises. And we can because we've done it in the past.
Kudos. I love it. I love what Governor Walz stands for. What an incredible legacy to leave behind. Not only what we saw in the video, but being the founder of, or a leader for the Gay Straight Alliance in rural Minnesota. I can't even imagine something like that. What an incredible person. And the fact that he hopefully could be, hopefully, our next vice president. What an incredible legacy.
Yeah.
Love it.
You know, in years past, we've said, everyone said, I think I've even said, you know, this person has this peccadillo, and this person this indiscretion, and this person this mistake. And we usually say, you know, we're not voting for Sunday school teacher. We're not voting for the Pope. You know, so and we say as long as the policies are good and they love the country and they're good leaders, and we can overlook this or forgive that or whatever. We've done it with almost every candidate forever. So what's different this time? This time, this isn't two reasonably good people, one or both of whom have made a mistake or two. This is between good people and not good people. People who are mean, people who are cruel, people who put sides against each other just to downgrade people for their own advantage. These are people who are absolutely evil towards the trans community, who are dedicated to dehumanizing transgender citizens. These are people who are cruel to people who are refugees, running honestly for their lives, and they're being demonized rather than trying to help them find a way, a path to safety and full production and citizenship. And so this isn't, I feel this way or that way about taxes, or I feel this way or that way about, you know, the size of the military. This is about, there are obviously decent, good, kind people, and just cruel, nasty, mean-spirited people. And so that's what's different for me this time, is that, first of all, politically, I would vote one way anyway, unless the person was a terrible person. But this is so different because this isn't two good people, so pick your policies, or good people who sometimes make mistakes, so how forgiving can I be? This really is people who seem to like people, and people who only like some people and want to denigrate and demean and demoralize and dehumanize and demonize large swaths of people. So it matters to me that Tim Walz is a obviously good person, and that his community recognizes that he is a good person, a kind person, a person who will stand in the breach between bullying and whether that's kids in high school or adults serving in their military, he just will not tolerate bullying. And that he is a good person is a huge deal maker for me in this election.
You know, I often have thought that teachers have been the ones who had the most impact on me growing up. And listening to the story and watching that video, I remember in this moment, it was one of those little flashbacks. Oh, I had a Tim Walz and didn't even know it in high school. And that was, I graduated high school in 1986. So, you know, a lot of these topics that we talk about right now were not even for public anything. But when we're watching that clip, and when he's talking about the story being asked if he would lead the group, the Gay and Straight Alliance, and when he said absolutely, that hit me. I mean, it hit me right here like, wow, that was like, there was no question about it. There was no ifs, ands, and buts about it. I need to go home and talk to somebody about that. No, this is what I'm going to do. And for that student to have had her life changed on a boat in China, to the impact that he went on to as in the White House and as a governor, and to now our hopeful vice president of the United States, he is an example of what it means to be, I'm going to say it, an American.
Patriot, a leader.
A patriot or leader who stands up in the face of anybody. I don't think there's nothing he's afraid of. And I don't think there's anyone he would not stand up to on the side of justice. And I think that when we look at him standing up for, you know, the don't ask, don't tell, for transgender rights, I mean, the whole package. I mean, he's the package deal. They are the package team.
Yes, they are.
And so when I think about just him as the teacher Walz, it fits that he's this natural human being that you want to connect with.
Now, I want to make sure everybody knows Sunshine Cathedral does not make contributions to political campaigns of any kind. Sunshine Cathedral is not affiliated with any party, and Sunshine Cathedral doesn't endorse candidates. And Sunshine Cathedral is part of the community, and so politicians do come and speak every once in a while if they want to. regardless of party. And Citizen Darrell has opinions and loyalties and preferences and does not mind saying what they are. So today you are hearing Citizen Darrell, Citizen Robert, and Citizen Ann. And we love us some Tim Walz and some Kamala Harris. But that is not an endorsement by Sunshine Cathedral, and we give no money to these things. But we live in this country, and we have voices, and we're going to use our voices for good.
And I think what I do endorse is people who want to do right by people.
That's right. That's what
we endorse goodness.
We endorse goodness and goodness and justice for people. That's what I'm standing behind. Regardless of who it is, that's what I'm behind.
Indeed.
At Sunshine Cathedral, we want to help you connect with the community. And we ask you to help support our rich and diverse LGBTQ and allied community. Daily power thoughts can happen for you by text from Sunshine Cathedral. It's just the daily power thought can come every day. Did you know that Sunshine Cathedral is the leading progressive queer church in the world? Well, you can receive daily texts from Sunshine Cathedral. Daily positive and empowering thoughts and weekly reminders to help you stay connected to Sunshine Cathedral no matter where you are. The daily messages are just something simple and encouraging, like this advice from Bruce Lee. Don't fear failure. Low aim is the crime. In great attempts, it is glorious even to fail. End quote. Or this powerful reminder from Marianne Williamson, quote, as we are liberated from our own fear, our presence actually liberates others, end quote. Simple moments like these can change the outcome of your day. Daily, they can change the future of your life. If you'd like such a warm and uplifting thought every day for free, just text the word CONNECT. That's CONNECT, CONNECT to 762-422-4799. That's 762-422-4799. Regardless of how you queer church, get more information at sunshinecathedral.org. I am surprised by how much I enjoy these. I found them. I found all these texts. I put them together. Robert loads them up. They go out automatically as soon as you sign up for it. But I look forward to it every day, just like I've never seen it before, never heard it before. And it is always just the tone that I need to. Sometimes you wake up in a mood. The dog is barking or the garbage truck or whatever, and you just don't wake up quite right. Well, by mid-morning, here comes this thought. I'm like, oh, you know what? Let me get back on track or whatever. And it is. It's calming. It's nourishing. It's good. It's always positive. It's always encouraging, and it's usually a reminder of either how good you are or of your potential. And so I think that's a good day, a good lesson. And that it comes from a church. Some churches, they want to tell you how bad you are, or how wrong you are, or how you better get it together, or else. None of that, ever from Sunshine Cathedral. So it's just a daily positive, encouraging thing, reminding you basically that you're God's miracle and not God's mistake.
I enjoy them. I've never seen them before. I don't load them. I just am a lucky beneficiary. I receive it every morning. It's usually around 9 a.m. Eastern time. And I've already been to work for a little while. And sometimes work is, people are getting on your last nerve and that kind of thing. And I know at 9 a.m. there will be a text message, and it shifts my focus. It helps me to reset myself and reminds me why I do what I do.
Absolutely.
All the behind-the-scenes work that happens to make those things happen, and yet every time that phone goes off at 9 o'clock, like, who is texting me now? And then I pick my phone and I look. It's like,
yeah,
got it. And this morning when it came up, I was in such a state. I said, you know what? Let me just read this over 3 times. And I started reading it. I was mindful of my breathing. I read it again. I was more mindful of my breathing. I read it again for the 3rd time, and it just shifted everything that was going on around me in that moment. So I'm appreciative of the way we help me stay connected, and also that we help others stay connected.
Yeah, it can be an affirmation. It can be a lesson. It can be a prayer. It's just that broad that it can be what you need, but also that clear and specific that it will help you feel better about yourself and about your possibilities, and maybe even give you exactly what you need to face the next thing. Maybe you know it's not going to be pretty, but you know you're equal to it because you just got reminded, I'm equal to this, and I'm going to be all right no matter how this turns out. So, which is basically the Sunshine Cathedral message. So we really want you, it's free, love doing it, love for you to get it. So just connect to the number we gave you, CONNECT, and you'll get it every day, absolutely free. They're very short, so it will never take up a lot of your time unless you want it to, unless you just want to meditate on it for a while. But we're very pleased with it, and we think it's very good. So just get it. Costs nothing. Just do it. Well, that's today with the Queer God Squad. We want to thank you for joining us. We're here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and to discuss what our LGBTQ plus community is talking about.
Sunshine Cathedral is the leading, largest progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together.
We are all in this together. Remember that. You are God's miracle, not God's mistake.
Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad. Goodbye.
Bye.